Dysfunctional relationships. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the Diddy situation from every angle. One of the things that I noticed when I talked about the Diddy trial and the Diddy verdict, some people said it was just people being freaky. Other people said she was out for the money. One of the things that I realized is that a lot of women were saying it because, hey, they have tolerated more and have less. They don't even have access to money. They were not on yachts. I mean, I guess y'all are saying at least she was on a yacht to get thrown off. I don't know. But what I do understand is that dysfunctional relationships, as black people, we are more apt to be in a dysfunctional relationship than anybody else. Our relationship with America is dysfunctional. We have fought for America, we've built America, and yet we're the only culture that has not reaped our rewards. The Jews got their money. The Native Americans got their money. Some of those casinos that you're going to is on Native American ground. That's how they make their money and keep their culture living and surviving. We are the only people that did not get ours as black people. And then to make it worse, we have a lot of immigrants and they're proud to be immigrants. Okay, so what? You're an immigrant to something I built. And you come set up in my neighborhood and then you sell back to me products that I like and you mistreat me while you sell them. If any culture is more apt and more susceptible to a dysfunctional relationship, it is Black America. And having said that, one of the things that we have to do is that we've got to stop just accepting things. I just did a video where I talk about generational curses begin with generational tolerance and what we allow. And that means even in our families, we have to have difficult conversations. I love and I am all about families banding together, but I'm not all about us doing it and while we pretend that nothing is wrong. If I've got to pretend, if I've got to fake it, what separates my family from everybody else I deal with? One of the things I loved about having family is that I could totally be myself and didn't have to fake it. That's where I was comfortable. That's where I could be me. I could be crazy me, smart me, need help me, wanting to hug me, depressed me, whatever, because my family had my back. All I'm telling you is that when it comes to dysfunctional relationship, there is always more than one person to blame. There's always somebody else. And the things that we tolerate with our families is why we'll go out and tolerate it with the mate. Have you ever looked at a relative and thought, now, why is it she'll let that guy walk over? Well, go back and look at how you treat her. How does she show up in the family? How does he show up? He or she? How is their voice in the family? Because if they don't have a voice there, they have become accustomed to not having one. And since they don't have a voice in the family, guess what? They can go back and be with somebody else and not have a voice because that has become their role. That's who they have become. A lot of times we are contributing to the generational curse and we're saying we want to break it at the same time. Talk about dysfunction, but it's real, it's honest, and that's the way it is. You got to think about what you're doing, and understanding is everything. Understanding is the bridge that you have to go through and walk over and walk on top of and everything in order to break whatever it is that you want to break. You can't break it with just anything. You've got to break it intentionally. You can't just say, I want to break a curse. You got to be real about it. You got to be honest. And sometimes that means being honest with somebody about something that they don't see. That's the only way we can come to an understanding. You talk about how you feel. I talk about how I feel. We respect one another's feelings. We listen. You may even have to walk away and revisit it later. That's okay. The point is you want to make sure that whatever you're doing, that you are at least respecting how a person feels and understanding what they're going through. Without understanding, you cannot care. Without understanding, you can't love. I tell people all the time, if there is no respect, there is no love. You can have love and you can have respect and not love, but you can never have love without respect. And that means understanding, even when you don't understand what I'm saying, you respect it enough to be like, okay, that's how you feel. I'm gonna try to honor that. And if it's something you can't honor, just say, hey, look, I may slip up sometimes, but I still love you. Just remember, we are more apt as a black people to have dysfunctional relationships because it all begins with how we got to America and the country we built. And we're used to people turning on us and we're used to being second class. Now you've got to intentionally break that so that you do not walk through the rest of your life affected and walking in second class because of America. That means we have to speak up. That means we have to vote. That means we have to make people accountable for our vote. That means we have to start shopping intentionally with black-owned businesses and not just with people who have something in our neighborhood that's cheap and yet they'll pull a gun on us in a heartbeat. I'm just telling you. Dysfunctional relationships are everywhere. So before you judge and before you point a finger, go back and look around you. Either you're contributing to some, you might be in the middle of one, or you're sitting passively by while you watch dysfunctional relationships happen. It's been your girl, Candy with Kim.